Well, today is another day. Today's Yom Shani. So we're coming along. Our world is still turning. All the facets of the world are moving many, many different ways. And we come back to the man who had been sleeping. So I see a conflict in my thinking. On the one hand, Rabbeinu Kodesh is speaking about the true tzaddik, that the true tzaddik is looking to awaken the neshamos of the Jewish people, which is another way of saying to awaken the Shekhinah, which is inside of us, and that tends to fall asleep. So on the one hand, that's true. On the other hand, he also is talking about us at the same time. So what does it mean? How is it possible that he could be talking about, say, me, waking me up, and then we're also talking about that he is the person that's involved in trying to wake me up? So I think that what this means is that the tzaddik, the true tzaddik, a real tzaddik, is inside of us. So the word for that, he's panimi to us. And panimi to the true tzaddik, in other words, he has the ability to try to arouse us. He's aware of who we are. He's aware of our flaws and the different problems that we have. Just like the Shekhinah is inside of the true tzaddik. And he's very, very aware of the needs of the Shekhinah, how that she wants so much to awaken us. So we have to be the same way. We have to bring that inside our awareness of the fact that we have layers of depth, of Kedusha inside of us. So here we have the long sleep of the Sheni the Melech, that is the Grand Vizier. The Grand Vizier, who he says on the one hand is us, on the other hand it's also the Tzaddik HaEmes, because look, the world is alive. It's not separated. There's not some God someplace out there, okay? Ani Hashem b'kerev haaretz. I am God. I'm in the midst of everything, everything. The Aretz is another word for Malchus. It's another word for where we grow from. He is in the midst of everything without him, but we could be far away from that sensation. But that doesn't mean that it's not vibrating, that it's not alive. That doesn't mean that because we can't see it. So Rabbeinu HaKodesh is coming to try to wake us up. So let's talk about this. So this Sheni the Melech, the Grand Vizier, V'hoya Yoshen Zaman Meruva Ma'od. He was sleeping for a long, long time. A person could sleep away his whole 70 years. And if you're Zocha, if you're a person who merits to be listening to this shir, then you realize that you want to be awakened and you want to get in touch, and that the Vekas that we're talking about is everything. Rabbeinu Zal says like this, as Mamram Zal, so he quotes a Gemara in Tainus. He said, "Mi iga denayim shavim shana." Let's take a man who is a person that could sleep for 70 years. So how is it that a person could sleep 70 years? And what happens is when a person is not aware of his neshama or the needs of his moral life, and he's really living just a physical life and satisfying his appetites. So that he calls the nukva, which is the hole, or another word for nukva, as we know, is a word for the female sense, with the homa rabba of the great depth. Ad sheyipol b'makom sheyipol, until a person falls to the bottom of wherever he goes to. So then he says like that, that's what can happen to a person. You get into a lifestyle that is really not healthy at all. V'hoya ha'masharish menayer also. So now he says that his servant was trying to wake him up. V'lo hoya neir klal. So let's see who the players are. So he says like the Guf Nikra Misharish, because your body is called the servant. Because really, even though that the majority of the world thinks that what's going on with their bodies is everything, but that body is really a servant to the soul. It's there to be able to become refined and to be able to help us to do the Vodas Hashem, to become closer to Hashem. Lots of times that the body realizes that there has to be more than life, than a good steak, or let's go into other things more physical than that. Ad Masai Otzel Tishkav Masai Taku Mishinazu. How long are you going to be lazy? You're not going to wake your soul. Your soul, you're saying, you're not going to wake up? You're not going to bring us to eternity? How long will you stay sleeping? So he says, Ki kach muva b'div Rabbeinu Zal. Rabbeinu Zal says this in Likutei Moharan, Chedek Aleph, Siman Karpet. Kishemezakehim, it's a goof. When a person works on his body and he tries to make it more refined. He's going to tell us a little bit how you do this. Of course, he's talking about it all the time. Azai hu misharish es neshama. Then the body becomes a servant to the soul. It takes you to shul. It takes you to learn. It takes you to try to get close in every way that you can imagine. So he quotes this pasuk in which is brought over and over again by the Rav. By that is, when I use the word Rav, I mean the Ari. He says that from my body I can see God. Here he uses it in this sense. I can refine my body well enough that I can get into the car, or I can dial up a friend, I could pick up a sefer, I could say Tehillim, I could do all the different things, or whatever it is possible for me to find a way to get closer to Hashem. And through if a person body gets him into the position where he could start doing things, even let's say he doesn't want to at a particular time, that could bring a person to godliness. And so therefore the body can awaken a person. But in this particular case, this is back on the story again, is that this neshama didn't wake up at all. His body tried to wake him up. And because he fell into a deep, deep sleep where he didn't care about his neshama anymore. That was sleeping. His slumbers put it to sleep. It was not able to shine into him and onto him and around him in any way at all. Back to the story. The story says, then, after a while, it's a long while, the soul wakes up. The soul is a misharish, and so he asked the misharish, with his body, where am I in the world? What have I been doing with myself? Rabbeinu Zal says again in Likutei Moharan, he says, this is the way that people who really fear God, this is their custom. As soon as they wake up, when they wake up from their sleep, before they begin anything, he should remind himself about the next world. That it's not just physically what I'm doing here right now, but as soon as you wake up, you should realize that you've been connected and that you are connected to a world that's much greater than this one. A world that's timeless. But so he has to ask himself, where is my neshama now in this world? What am I doing? What am I doing to awaken myself? So then the Misharish starts telling the story. That is how he was waiting for a whole year, and when the final day of the year, which is Rosh Hashanah, came, he got involved with these apples, and he fell. You have slept for years. Now the body, on the other hand, the body could get along, could eat the fruits. It was a tremendous pain for him. So that is, the body is talking to the soul. That you were sleeping a tremendous amount of time. You're inside of me, but sleeping. Many years. Skip the line, I'm sorry. This is a tremendous, tremendous loss. We only have one life. The world keeps turning, and no matter what, every day is a new one. Every situation is a different cycle. Look at my Mazal, like the rabbi says, Sheina v'yayin l'rishoyim. So this is a little thing. He says that sleep and wine for evil people, anoi lahem, it's good for them. V'anoi la'olam, it's good for the world. The tzaddikim, but if people that want to be tzaddikim, ra lahem v'ra la'olam, it's bad for them and it's bad for the world. V'amro, so he brings a medrash. Rabbi Yeshua the Sachnin b'shem Rabbi Levi Amar. So Rabbi Yeshua said, the chilas mafalo shena. So when a person starts to fall, the beginning of it is he falls asleep. Damech le v'lo loy ba'raisa. So what is it? So he sleeps and he doesn't learn Torah. And he doesn't daven. Ki b'shah tzaddik er, because when a tzaddik is awake, that his soul becomes awakened and comes clinging to Hashem. And he's constantly planting himself the fact that the whole world, the whole reality of the world is the oneness of Hashem. And it's good when we can do that and be aware of the fact that Hashem is really running everything, and that all we want to do is be a part of that eternity. That's good for us and it's good for the world. But if a person gets involved in other things and he's sleeping and he doesn't remember it, it's bad for them and it's bad for the whole world. So therefore it became a tremendous pain. That he had to sleep so long. He had to see his life frittering away, and all the time that he could have had and could have been dovek to Hashem, clinging to Hashem, and doing the things that he needed to do. But the Nate gets Yisbarach, and he winds up cutting himself off from Hashem. Because when a person is sleeping, what this means, the definition, so what it is that he's cut himself off from the life forces for the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. And then we make mistakes. Our body gets us into different kinds of fantasies, and we go down the wrong path. We make mistakes that can really cut you off. And the person can fall into complete and total denial of everything that's really true. The person can't really sense that there's actually a Kodesh Baruch Hu in the world, that there is a God, there's an Ein Sof, that the whole world is one. This is a tremendous loss for him and for the entire world. Because the truth is that in this world, we can really make a tremendous profit. We can achieve things in this world, which is what Rabbeinu Kodesh wants to teach us, and what the Rav wants to teach us, what the Baal Shem wants to teach us, what all the Rabbanim want to teach us. There's a tremendous repairs that we can make. We make a tremendous tikkun. We could make an elevator that could really rise up to bring the whole world up. If a person can save the precious time that he has on this planet, by doing Torah, keeping the mitzvahs, by davening, and by making special time to be able to talk directly to Hashem. So there's one more page I want to do. I'll try to go through it. And they were there. This Sheni the Melech, the Grand Vizier, the Tzaddik. So now he wants to talk about the Tzaddik. It's not just that the Tzaddik wants to awaken himself and purify himself, because he understands that he's part of the Jewish people. The Jewish people have a tremendous destiny. He wants to awaken us. Look at us. V'hein kol nefesh bar Yisrael. That's every Jewish soul. Sheholech lachapes ach nishmaso, that everybody wants to go, needs to go, and to search after their soul. So he says, v'ach yigir atzuma, and after a tremendous amount of effort, kashi es yageya v'toreich kol hashana lehotzachas nishmas Yisrael b'klalios v'es nishmasa b'pratios. So here we have the situation that in the year, he expended a tremendous amount of effort to try to help and save the Jewish people in general, and himself in particular. And while he's trying to do this, he makes mistakes, and different things come in. But look, the world is a moving place. It's moving, even though you may not see yourself moving so much, but it's moving, and things are moving around you. Some of them hit you. Some of them flatter you. Some of them do all kinds of things to help you, but they hurt you as well. There are so many different things. And all of these things cause us to react to them. And as a result of that, a person may just give up, fall into a deep sleep. So it's very difficult to really try to help somebody who has choice, because doesn't have to listen. But when you can say something, anything, that can awaken a person from his sleep, so he starts going in the direction of the Bas Melech, that is the princess, and the princess is his soul, Shehi Nishmaso. Nishmas Yisawel, that is not just your own neshama, but you're also thinking about everybody else's neshama, because we're all the children of Hashem. So now the Sheni, the Melech, the Grand Vizier, the Tzaddik, you, me, he finds this neshama. He works hard, he finds it. So if you're stubborn and you're persistent and you keep trying the different kinds of eitzes that Rabbeinu Kodesh wants to give you, he says you'll find her. He doesn't abandon his will at all, just keeps going. Is where you've been sleeping. Wants to bring your soul back out of the depths of physicality in which we live. But so, in the meantime, you slip, you fall. You don't do it right, but you get back up and you keep going. But his will to try to find the Almighty doesn't become weakened. Who's there? That's who he is. But he keeps trying, keeps pushing, keeps trying to find the proper way to get close to Hashem. In the end, he will find the Bas Melech. On the one hand, it's the klal of the neshama of the entire Jewish people, where the Shekhinah is inside of us. And then you and me individually, if we try and we go down these paths, that we will find who we are and what our relationship is to the Jewish people. So he finds her, and she's very, very upset. She's very bothered by him. So he said that one definition of the Shekhinah is the klal of the neshamas of the Jewish people. So if you look at it as a general, all the neshama, the entire Jewish people, is one. We live in a world which is separated. Everything looks separated. But the fact of the matter is that on a spiritual level, it's all non-physical, and it's all one. And inside of that is Shekhinah. And your soul, your neshama, and mine. Mitzvah eres and mislonanes, so it's really complaining and it's really bothered. So now going back to Rosh Hashanah again. So if you would have come back on that day and done what you're supposed to do, let me see, Shazeh Erev Rosh Hashanah, so that you would have come, we would have been able to meet on Eretz Rosh Hashanah, on Erev Rosh Hashanah. Yom Akram Shalashana, that we'd have been able to meet at that time. We would have gone into the new year together. Motzi Osi Mikan, I would be able to take you out. You would be able to take me out from the trap of the life, which I said before is really the poison of the snake, that where we live, we'd be able to get our souls out of this. And it goes on, and we're going to try to finish up now. Because if a person is careful the whole year long, and every day, no matter what the changes in the day are, because every day is a different one, but you keep trying to find the Shekhinah, you keep trying to find the truth of the Torah. Shehi Nishmas Yisrael, because again, he says the neshama, the klal of the group of the Jewish people, of all the Jewish people, is the Shekhinah is inside of it. So in the end, you'll be able to get her out if you're able to continue to try. Because of one day, now this is the neshama speaking now to the person, is because of one day, because you got all the way through the whole year and you tried and you tried and you tried, and you didn't guard that one day, and you fell into sleep. As a result of that, you lost me completely. Person can lose his temper, get involved in the wrong things, and find himself and all the effort that he done that he lost touch with the reality of his soul. And as a result of that, you go down the wrong path. Years and years, you're in the wrong place. Until you're able once again to you can't wake yourself up. I'm sorry. So this is something you should really take to heart. Let's say that you've been trying hard in the avodah of Hashem your whole life. So there's a small stumbling block, some little thing. You find yourself into a trap that you can't get out of. And you go down that path and you can't get out. So then she's complaining, she's saying things, your neshama is along with you while you're falling into the wrong place and going down and doing the wrong actions. Representative says like this: when a person, what's his right word? His words, does his boidedus, he talks to God. And he explains all of the different things that he's done and all the pain that he's in. Lifnei Hashem Yisbarach, in the Hashem, he said, al godel hapagamim she'asa. Now he looks and he starts going down all the different flaws and all the different mistakes and the cracks that he's created in the world. Zai gam hashchina kenegdo meforeshes the fun of sichasa v'tzara umenachemes also. Then when you find it inside of yourself, you go like this. You say, this is like a big idea that I thought about in a different way. The Shekhinah is trying to reach you just as much as you need to reach inside of yourself and find her. And when you can't find her and you go in the wrong direction, she's hurt. The Shekhinah is hurt. You create a flaw there that she needs to overcome, and she needs to reach you. And she's like your mother who sees, no matter what you do, you're going to go out, you're going to do this, you're going to make this mistake. And so, if you could do enough isbaidedus about yourself and about the mistakes you made, then you could start to seeing how the Shekhinah is really thinking about you, and how she really wants you back, how she wants you to come near to you. Because every flaw, every piece of damage that you do your soul, pogam etzlo, it also makes a flaw in the Shekhinah. Gam ken kaviyachol, also, as if it's possible to say that. That's the shir today. That's where the Sheni the Melech finds himself. Hope you enjoyed the shir. The main thing is to enjoy. Thank you very much.